Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We got part 3. C'est pas un, c'est pas deux, c'est pas quatre, mais c'est trois. Here we go. Accountability, part 3 of the Emergency Act, unlawfully invoked by Justin Trudeau. And here today to make the announcement is Mr. Speaker. If you're not already subscribed, what are you doing? You keep coming across the videos. You keep typing in the names. It keeps popping up. Do everybody a favor. Subscribe and turn the notifications on so you get it directly to your phone, your computer, your tablet, iOS, Android, compatible. Let's not waste any more time, folks. You gotta like the video. You gotta be subscribed. You gotta be notifications on. And you gotta comment down below. How do you think part 3 is gonna turn out? I'm excited. I haven't seen this yet. Here we go.
It means a lot. I'm gonna read you 2 quotes from your minister. At the recommendation of police, we invoked the Emergencies Act to protect Canadians. That's quote number 1. Quote number 2. The invocation of the Emergencies Act was only put forward after police officials told us they needed this special power. End quote. We have heard from police officials at this committee and at other committees in this Parliament. To date, none of them have indicated that they've actually asked for the invocation of the Emergencies Act. So who actually asked for it?
My understanding is there is a misunderstanding of the minister's words. The minister was alluding to the fact that police were consulted and were, not just in the case of the RCMP, but other police, indicating, as was discussed in the prior session, that their powers were not effective, and they therefore
you
asked for more
indicated during your introduction that you actually led some of those consultations with the RCMP, with the OPP, with Ottawa, and others. So, did you brief the minister on those consultations?
Yes, and in some cases he was involved.
Okay, so he was there. So, can you provide copies of the notes taken in those consultations?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, do you have briefing notes then separate from the conversations with law enforcement? You said you met with the City of Ottawa officials, separate from police. Do you have those as well?
I have personally no notes, but we have records of the consultations that we undertook in conversations.
Thank you. I appreciate.
I'm going to pause this video right now and do a little announcement. Today's video is brought to you by me. If you'd like to participate in the anti-Trudeau group, which most of us here are, there's a link down in the description. You know, at the end screen where it goes emotional damage. Well, there's some merch. Oh yeah, I don't know if you knew that, but there's some merch. And you see down in the corner right here, you see that right there? Oh yeah, that's an actual t-shirt. That's for sale. And the link for that is down in the description below. Let's get back to the video. Thank you so much for being here.
That. Now, in your recollection, do you recall, was there ever any information given to the minister as fact, which was later proven to be untrue, which may have influenced his decision to invoke the Emergencies Act?
Which may have been untrue?
No, which have proven later to be untrue. That it maybe have influenced his decision to invoke the Emergencies Act.
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, because he was at committee early on and was still talking like the arson and the apartment building was tied to the protest, and the Ottawa police has made that very clear that it was not. That was one of the incidents that I'm referring to. Whose decision was it ultimately, Mr. Stewart, that the threshold between peaceful protest and a state of emergency was met?
Who was responsible for that?
Yeah.
The cabinet.
Cabinet was. Obviously, they got advice from somebody.
Yes.
And that would have been the consultations from law enforcement, or that would have been from other officials?
A whole range of sources, but including the ones you mentioned.
Okay, so obviously, the information you relied upon, those documents will be made available to this committee?
Issues of cabinet confidence are subject to the determination of the Prime Minister, so I can't provide a view on that at this time.
Okay,
Yeah, right.
fair enough. Of course, they can be provided. The redactions is a different story, right? Thank you. So you indicate that at the cabinet table, there were obviously officials, government officials there, and was there law enforcement officials there besides Commissioner Lucky?
Again, it would be a cabinet confidence, I believe, to discuss who was in the room.
Well, Commissioner Lucky has already said that she met
She was
with-
party to discussions
Okay.
with ministers.
At that point, who should be making or providing opinions? So you said there's people there advising the cabinet to make that decision, but who do you think should have been there? I guess my question really should be, were the right people in the room to make that decision, to advise cabinet on before the invocation was actually invoked?
As you know, sir, the Emergencies Act was invoked at some time after the blockades began, and over the course of the 2+ weeks that they were in effect, we were gathering a lot of information and doing a lot of consultation.
So it was the cabinet's decision to invoke the act. How long before it was actually invoked on the 14th of February did the cabinet make that decision?
Not long.
A day?
Not long
A week?
before.
Hours?
It was made over the course of the weekend.
Over the course of the weekend.
Wow.
Thank you.
All right. I don't know if we've ever heard that before, that the decision to invoke the Emergencies Act was made over the course of a weekend. Canada's most severe act, War Crimes Act, the most intense one that takes the most amount of steps, the most amount of chain of commands, paperwork, authority to go through, was done on a weekend. Just a weekend. That's gotta be the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, man. Wow. As Mr. Speaker, I find that quite irresponsible and offensive to all 38+ million law-abiding citizens that reside in Canada. Oof. Who is going to be held accountable? Dun dun dun. All right. That was awesome. Well, thank you so much for being a part of that. And, if there's a part 4, ladies and gentlemen, if there's a part 4, you know where to find me, because you'll be notified, right? Because you have that bell notification on, and you're subscribed, and you've liked this video, and you've commented down below. Good answer. I'll see you in the next one.
Sorry? I thought I was gonna make it through this, but I'm not. It hurts.
Emotional damage.